the first Prime Minister of Uganda, Dr. Apollo Milton Obote. Dr. Apollo Milton Obote was the first Prime Minister of Uganda from the time of its independence in 1962 until 1966, when he became the President of the Republic of Uganda. He formed a coalition with the Buganda Royalties Party, 𝐏𝐫𝐢𝐬𝐿. The two parties then controlled a parliamentary majority and became the Prime Minister in 1962. He began his term on the 25th of April 1962, appointed by Sir Walter Coates, the then Governor General of Uganda. The following year, the position of the Governor General was replaced by a ceremonial presidency to be elected by the Parliament. Mutesa, the Kabaka, King of Buganda, became the ceremonial president. As Prime Minister, Obote was implicated in a gold smuggling plot together with 𝐿𝐻𝐵𝐺𝐻𝐵𝐷𝐼, who was deputy commander of the Uganda Army. The Parliament then demanded an investigation of Obote and the ousting of Idi Amin. In that process, Obote suspended the constitution and declared himself President of Uganda in March 1966. Several leaders of rival factions in the party were arrested and detained without charge. He declared a state of emergency, responded with an armed attack upon Mutesa's palace, forcing the king to flee into exile. The Parliament later then passed a new constitution. The federal structure of the independent constitution, and created the executive presidency. This is when people of Uganda began to shed crocodile tears, that is, terrorizing Uganda up to today. The Baganda is a preferred ethnic group of the British colonialists. Winston Churchill himself was Under Secretary of State for Colonies from 1905 to 1908. He regarded the Bagandas as a civilized people. He based his belief in what Frank Schubert said, based on his own understanding and belief that the Baganda are somewhat special. The Bagandans elites did capitalize on the words of Frank Schubert and later established their claim to power in Uganda till today. Dr. Apollo Milton Obote is a Lango from northern Uganda. He did not oppose this claim to power by the Baganda, but instead he gave them all they wanted because he himself was married to a Muganda woman. To a Buganda woman. It was 𝙁𝙊𝙇𝙇𝙊𝙑, opposition chief whip, 1965 to 1966. A man who tabled a motion before the parliament in 1966, accusing the prime minister and deputy commander of the armed forces, Idi Amin, of looting and misappropriating gold, ivory, and cash from Congo in what he termed as a gold scandal of the year. 𝙁𝙊𝙇𝙇 was a personal friend of the king of Uganda. The son of 𝐷𝙇𝙇 of Acholi land, spent most of his youth in Buganda, living with the Kabaka in Buganda Kingdom. Some people claim that it was a special colonial project because his father, 𝙁𝙇𝙇, was in near hot and close relationship with the British colonial regime in Uganda at that time. His son 𝙁𝙊𝙇 was elected to Buganda Lukiko in 1962 and Parliament of Uganda in 1964, representing Mityana on behalf of 𝐏𝐫𝐢𝐴 party. He was a Secretary General of 𝐏𝐫𝐢𝐴. He married 2 wives, one a Muganda woman, and the second one was an Acholi woman. Opposition chief whip 𝙁𝙊𝙇 was killed. His death still remains a mystery that is roaming the parlor of Africa without answer until today. No one knows what happened, why it happened, and the government of Uganda have failed to investigate just many mysterious deaths in Uganda. We are all living in a cloud of doubts, while mysterious death, murder just keep happening. The first Prime Minister of Uganda is not a bad person. I know him. He is not a bad person. But he does not listen to advice of those close to him. He only wanted to listen to those who were close to him. He was always surrounded by greedy people. According to his own word, Governor Sir Walter Coates warned Obote about the murder in Turkana by a Lieutenant Idi Amin, and he did nothing about it, even though he was warned that the officers like Amin could cause trouble in the future. He did nothing about it. He did nothing about it. Not long ago, I was going through some of his last interviews, and it became very interesting when I came across one of his last interviews, and he said very clear that people had been accusing him of several things. But when they asked him whether he ordered attack on King's Palace in Lubiri, he said, no, I did not order any soldiers to attack Lubiri. And that raises a lot of questions. He's sending us back to square one. Because if Dr. Apollo Milton Obote did not order the attack on Lubiri, then there is a third-party player in the game. The Prime Minister then did not order the army to attack Lubiri. Who did? That is what had been puzzling me all this time. And I began to ask myself, say, this Obote Baganda saga is bigger than what we think, because if he didn't order the attack on Lubiri, who did? Was it the Minister of Defense who ordered the attack on Lubiri? Or was it an internal game being played by a few people around? And those few people could be you, it could be me, it could be anybody. And it would be a pity that all these people are going to take the knowledge they have to their grave without giving us the chance to really know what did happen in the Pearl of Africa. Who did order the attack on Lubiri? This is a mystery that is going to take a lot of our time. We have to find out. But let's be honest to ourselves. Dr. Apollo Milton Obote himself was not a bad person. My only blame to him is that I blame him because being the president of Uganda, he failed us. Being the Prime Minister of Uganda, he failed us. There had been a lot of assassination of top, actually military leaders. And up to today, nobody knows exactly what happened. The fact is, if you look at the attack on 𝐷𝙝𝙇𝙇, and then you are telling us that you did not order the attack on 𝐷𝙝𝙇𝙇, and then you don't know who eliminated the 𝐷𝐻𝐻, who eliminated all those top, actually military leaders. And then it raised the question, if there was a third player in the game, why didn't you investigate at that time to try and find out what is really happening? Because if you leave a murder to go on, and the family of those people who were killed don't have an answer up to today, and there is no government who is coming out to tell us the truth, what really happened. I think this is a starting point. When Prime Minister Obote said that he did not order attack on 𝐷𝙝𝙇𝙇, so who did? If he did not order any attack on anybody, or he did not fulfill his job as the commander of the army properly, he should have done something about it. He should have set a commission of inquiry. To find out who ordered the attack on 𝐷𝙝𝙇𝙇. They should have investigated and found out who took out the 𝐷𝙝𝙇. They should have put a commission of inquiry to investigate who had been eliminating all those actually top military leaders, what was behind it, and who was profiting from it. And those questions still remain unsolved. I hope this is going to give us an opening so that you and those who are coming after us will still insist that the mysterious murder, the mysterious killing, the mysterious assassination that had been going on in Uganda must be investigated. A commission of inquiry must be set up, and those found guilty or involved should be put on record. It does not matter whether those people are still alive or dead. We have to make sure that the record lives. Thank you for listening. And I will be back. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.